Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. Today we're diving deep into a little-known chapter of NASCAR's history, a chapter fueled by raw horsepower, rebellious spirits, and moonshine. That's right, folks. Before NASCAR became the polished corporate back sport we know today, it had its roots deep in the backwoods where bootleggers ran illegal liquor and outran the law. But when NASCAR started to set rules and regulation, not everyone was on board. But before we get into that, I'd like to welcome y'all back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and ring that notification bell so you never miss out on any of our gear grinding, engine roaring content. Today we're taking a trip back to the 1940s and 50s, a time when moonshine runners were kings of speed and NASCAR was getting its wheels under it. But did you know that some of those bootleggers didn't take too kindly to the idea of the rules and regulations in NASCAR? They saw it as a threat to their freewheeling, rule-breaking way of life. So buckle up to the fascinating tale of the Moonshine Bootleggers who rebelled against the very sport that they helped create. To understand why these bootleggers were so opposed to NASCAR's rules, we need to rewind a little bit. You see, in the 1930s and 40s, running moonshine wasn't just a job. It was a way of life. These drivers had to be fast, fearless, and ready to outrun the law at a moment's notice. Their cars, they were customized, souped-up machines with hidden compartments for stashing liquor and engines that could leave a sheriff's car in the dust. When NASCAR was officially formed in 1948, it was the brainchild of Bill France Sr., a man who wanted to legitimize stock car racing and make it safer for drivers and fans alike. But with legitimacy came regulations, rules about car specifications, safety standards, race procedures. Now here's where things get interesting. For many of these moonshiners, the idea of rules was the complete opposite of what they were used to. After all, they made their living by breaking them. So when NASCAR started laying down the law, some of these outlaw drivers weren't too happy about it. These drivers felt that the new rules stripped away the essence of what made their driving so special, the freedom to drive whatever they wanted and however they wanted. You have to remember, these guys weren't just racers, they were outlaws, used to living life on the edge, but rules were more like suggestions. So when NASCAR started setting boundaries, it wasn't just about the cars, it was about the way of life that was being regulated. And for some, that was a hard pill to swallow. But here's the kicker. Without these moonshine runners and their wild, rule-breaking ways, NASCAR might never have become the powerhouse that it is today. Their need for speed and the ability to push limits of what a car could do laid down the foundation for the sport. It's a wild paradox, isn't it? As NASCAR grew, the sport had to evolve. The cars got faster, the rules got stricter, safety became top priority. But in those early days, you can bet that there were more than a few bootleggers who raised a glass of homemade whiskey and said, "I'll race how I want to, thank you very much." So the next time you're watching a NASCAR race, just remember, it all started with a bunch of renegades who weren't afraid to break the law. And for a while, they weren't too keen on following NASCAR's rules either. They were rebels with a cause, and that cause was speed. That's it for today's deep dive into NASCAR's wild beginnings. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with your fellow racing fans. Let me know in the comments if there's any untold stories you want to hear about next. And until then, keep on that loud pedal.